And then I ran out after him, launched a can off his back, and then for the next 3 hours, we were going at each other.
3 hours, wow.
It went on for ages. There was cameras flying all over the place. There was obviously security all there, but it was going on and on and on. You know, we both got fined 10 grand that night. Wow. So as much as they loved the drama,
they regretted that.
And even the viewers loved it. We got fined for, for taking it a bit too far. And, it probably was too far and stuff, but, it's...
Hi guys, welcome to episode 4, I believe it is, of Visionary Academy. Today we have a very, very exciting guest with us today. He was on Geordie Show, famous DJ, TV personality. We have the very own Ricci Guarnaccio, is that you?
Guarnaccio, close.
Yes,
Abi.
I want to make sure I pronounce it right, yeah. But how are you today, Ricci?
I'm great. Thanks for having us down first
and foremost. Of course. Where have you travelled from today? Durham.
So not too long. But,
not too long.
Thanks for having us. I don't normally do these, so it's nice to catch up with you. And
because I believe before we were filming, you were just saying you've done 2 of these podcasts, I believe.
I've done 1 online, and then my friend Lewis. But I mean, that one was we went out the night before, and I was pretty drunk even in the morning doing it, so I can't really remember much. But
so we're going to ask, how did that go?
Didn't go to plan, basically, whatsoever.
a bit rough and a bit dying in the chair.
So it'd be nice to do this professionally and do it properly with you.
Of course, absolutely. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming down. For those who don't know, you tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, what you're currently doing, etc.
Where do we start? Long list. Famously known for being on Geordie Show. Then we ended up doing X on the Beach, Celebrity Big Brother, Celebrity Dinner Date, jumping over to Australia. Going on Kyle and Jackie-O, radio. Filmed the Universal Pictures film as well, which was insane. Did X After Dark, now touring the UK, doing Pop World TV, being a DJ and producing music. So, there's a lot to get through. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we'll dive through all that as soon as we get to them. So, firstly, like what I do with all my guests, I like to take it all the way back to the beginning. So, tell us a bit about home life, growing up, school, all that.
Pretty privileged kid, growing up. Pretty privileged. Mum and dad came from working class background. Didn't have much money. Went to a private school. Fortunately.
Any siblings or?
No, only child.
Oh,
spoiled rotten.
Of course, that's what they say, don't they?
Yeah, but I was pretty. I was just obsessed with sport growing up. Rugby, I was absolutely, besotted with. Cricket, squash. Funny enough, anything I could, do outside.
Anything sporty.
Exactly, anything. But I wanted to be the best at absolutely everything as well. I was outside practicing by myself, whether it was cricket or throwing the rugby ball against the garage or, it's even in a squash court. I was a county squash player, so I did it all. But I absolutely loved it. I was very fortunate to grow up and go to both school when I was younger. Went to the Nationals at 13-year-old. Unlucky to win that. And then went to Durham School as well, where, I had a great upbringing. So
amazing. So what did you study at school then?
I wasn't very good at academics. As much as I like to think I'm clever now.
What was your, I guess, what did you have an interest in? Let's word it like that.
Do you know what it is? I went to school for the sake of playing sport. The 2 schools I went to were very much rugby dominated. They were heavily rugby dominated, and they're very well known for being rugby. Yeah. That being said, it's I didn't grow up that fast with having the parents I did, and quite a lot of people from my school didn't having parents that were well off and parents that were rich. Kind of they either fell into the parents' family businesses or took a long time to grow up.
Very normal upbringings, that kind of thing. Working class families, and obviously Newcastle. You're from Newcastle, as you said.
Yeah.
What was Newcastle like as a whole growing up in? Was it a good city to grow up around? Was it the people, the culture? Tell me all about that.
Geordie's known for saying how it is. We love a drink. And the partying aspect as well. And I mean, I was a host before I got into anything. From the age of 18-year-old, I was running around closing my top off and enjoying life. I was out Monday to Monday. Every night of the week in Newcastle there was something going on. Whether it was Tiger on a Monday, or you know, there was Tup.
I remember Tiger.
Yeah, they were crazy back in the day.
Yeah, because I'm from Leeds, so that was the in place back then as well.
They used to be massive though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they were like a chain, well, bar / club, I guess, in a way. But they were amazing back in the day, amazing. So I vouch for that.
But even back then, you mean the drinks were so cheap in that.
There was different world, wasn't it?
You could literally go out with a tenner or 20 quid, and you were well off.
Yeah, and you could come home and have a good night, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Every single night. I mean, I used to do my parents' head in asking for money all the time. But I it was definitely enjoyable. Enjoyable.
So your upbringing were very good. Obviously, you in sports, like you did different sports, that kind of thing. Yeah. Grew up in an amazing, I guess, town, city. Very good family life, that kind of thing.
Yeah, about my parents, I've been very fortunate to have the parents that I've got. They've allowed me to do absolutely everything that I've ever wanted. At 15-year-old, the house that we had, it was 3 stories. We had a basement. So at 15-year-old, my mum and dad were giving us 100 quid to go out with, which at the time was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'd always used to bring all the lads back and all my mates back, and we'd all be partying there,
have drinks and just lads be lads, that kind of thing. So very close to your parents, obviously, close, and with you being an only child, you would have been spoilt rotten, as you've said. School life seems like it went very well for you. Anything about those days that stand out to you?
Not in terms of
I'm really dissecting your early life.
Academically, it was. I remember being 17-year-old, and I got 2 Bs, 4 Cs and 2 Ds with no revision going into GCSEs whatsoever.
Yeah.
But all that was on my mind was I just wanted to get into 6th form, because it was just...
That was the goal at the time.
Yeah, because I grew up with all the lads, I had my best mate there from 3-year-old, and we were all really, really tight with, it was a team, the rugby thing, it was like a close bond.
Yeah.
And we were very close to getting the national finals in the under 15s, and all that was on my mind was I was the quickest in the school, very young, and I wanted to be the best, and I wanted that team bond still. Even on Sundays we were playing for Durham City Rugby Club. So it was every single day we were together. But when we got into 6th form, I remember doing a business studies exam, and I didn't revise for it.
I can only imagine how that went.
Just winging it straight away, and I got an F straight away.
Oh no!
And I was like, this is going to be difficult.
Yeah, school's not for me, that kind of thing.
I remember they allowed me to cut my subjects down to 2 subjects in A levels, which is the bare minimum you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
And I thought...
You didn't have many interests in many different subjects, I guess.
No.
The curriculum, what school gives you anyway, I guess,
I was doing physical education, and, I got a B in that through purely off my sport. And, but in terms of, it was just tough. I remember going home after that day, and I remember getting home and speaking to my mum and dad, and they were both hairdressers at the time. They had a few salons. Yeah. And my dad was like, oh, do you want to go into hairdressing? Now, going back a year or two, I'd always cut the lads' hairs. But at our house in the garage, I had a gym and I had a barber shop as well. My dad used to cut people's hairs, and I used to cut the lads just for absolute crack.
Yeah. So you didn't charge them anything. You just thought, give this a try.
I trained myself as a barber, so that's where it all started with me going into hairdressing. And
you were quite good at that. Did you enjoy it?
I was pretty good at it. Yeah. To be fair, I was natural. When I went down to London, there was sort of trials for all the Tony and guys, for all the main Tony and guys down London. And my dad had heard about it, and they said, oh, we'll buy an apartment down London. Instantly I was like, sweet. Yeah. 17-year-old. And you can go train down there with the best. So fortunately, they saw my background with having hairdressers that were, parents that were hairdressers. Yeah. And, I can't remember how it worked out, but there was me and another girl that ended up in the main salon in Davy Street with Tony himself and Tony and Guy, which is an absolute privilege, seeing some of the celeb, stars come through the door. I remember Abs walking through the door.
Oh, Abs from Five. Is that right? Yeah,
I'll never ever forget it. He walked through with dungarees on, no top on, slouching the couch like this.
I bet he did.
And his girlfriend at the time was wearing a cowboy hat, cowboy shirt, cowboy boots, and denim. So I'll never, ever, ever forget it. Yeah. And I thought,
and it seems the coolest guy, doesn't it?
I remember watching. I remember looking at him. I was only 17 at the time. I was only a kid, but I remember like, what a cool dude, man. He looked sick.
Yeah.
I loved the arrogance, and I was all at school. I always had my collar up from American.
So you looked up to someone like
cool,
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like the cool confidence kind of thing.
100%. Yeah. But it was a different
so what
world
happened?
down there.
What happened from there then? So you went into hairdressing.
Basically, 17-year-old, had my own apartment down in London.
Yeah.
I had all my friends down there were 21, 22-year-old. They're all a lot older than us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was very fortunate and blessed. And I didn't appreciate it at the time. And you know, it just didn't work out. 2 years down there, I phoned my mum. I was like, Mum, I need to come home. I was like,
Not enjoying London anymore.
Nah,
Yeah.
I had enough of the party life. It was just too much for me. Living by myself, doing washing, ironing, and all that kind of stuff, and trying to go out pretty much every night of the week.
Yeah.
I remember the manager from Tony and Guy saying, "Have you got something wrong with you?" Because I was phoning sick all the time.
Yeah. Like, have you got some kind of illness I need to know about?
Yeah, exactly that. I remember him pulling me into the manager's office, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I just think it's my diet." he's like, "Well, you're a young lad. What's wrong with your diet?" I was like, "I'm just eating too much McDonald's." Anyway, it's lunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was giving him absolute bullshit, to be honest with you. But it didn't work out. Came back up north. Ended up getting a job at Mops in Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then carry on my hairdressing from there, really.
Amazing. So you worked kind of a little job to sort of get by with your hairdressing, that kind of thing, make it work? Because it sounds like you were thrown into independence at a very young age, you know, like going to London at 17, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah,
you know,
and I was too young.
I'd be terrified.
I was too young, to be honest with you. My parents, and this is what I mean about parents, they allowed me to do everything I wanted to, and they gave me everything. You know,
yeah, they gave you a lot of independence at a young age, and just said,
probably too
it's
much.
Up to you.
Too much.
Go with that, yeah.
And not just independence, but too much. Whatever I wanted, I got.
Yeah.
My dad, with being half Sicilian, you know, he was very much the.
I were actually going to say you've got a Sicilian last name. I were going to comment on that, but I didn't want to say that in case I were wrong.
Yeah,
you know.
No, well, my dad's 5'4". I mean,
oh, I love that.
Yeah, he's a little Italian, mad head where, if he kicks off, this is where I get my, my
very traditional. 100%. Yeah,
and my mum is just, I'm a proper mummy's boy, to be honest with you. I've got everything I ever wanted, and she's always, done absolutely everything for us. To be fair, they both have. I never really saw my dad as a kid, and working as, nuts off to put us through private school.
Yeah.
He was gone in the morning, he wouldn't come back till late at night, to be honest with you, with cutting hair.
Yeah.
Imagine the prices that they charged back in them days, it was nowhere near the charging now. So
yeah, exactly. A huge difference. So I can't remember if I asked, but what did your parents do as work?
So my parents, they had a few salons, then they jumped into the restaurant business. They had a few restaurants.
Oh, that's
they
very
also
good.
had a few student houses. So that the portrait, is it what the you know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway,
parts. That's
so
it. Yeah.
They did well.
Yeah.
And they worked their asses off to get where they wanted.
Amazing. So very hard-working people to
very
look
much
up to.
unlike me. But you know what it is. I mean, when I got into my 30s and I came back from Australia, I massively grew up. Then it was it was a complete light switch, and obviously we'll get into that of
course. So from there, so you're roughly around 17, 18 at this point. What was sort of you doing from 18? Like, did you go out partying a lot? Were you still?
I was never in the house.
Was you never in the house?
Never in the house.
What was you up to? Like, how did you pass your time, I guess?
Yeah, I was hairdressing.
Because 18's a very, it's a very vulnerable age, I guess, and you just turned an adult and you're finding your way as a person and going through all the changes and experiment and exploring different things. So I guess the normal things of an 18-year-old would be, I started this job, found myself with this, went out drinking a lot with the lads, did these hobbies on the side, just figuring myself out. What was that time in your life like for you, I guess? Was you in that position as well? Or?
Yeah, I hadn't found my passion yet.
Yeah, and, still figuring yourself out.
And
yeah.
what I'd say to anyone growing up in that as well, you need to find your passion and love in life to find, where you want to go and how you want to do things in life. And I found that with music, fortunately.
Yeah.
When I was hairdressing, I loved it, but I didn't love it like entirely enough where I think I wanted to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, of course.
I kind of fell into it because it was the only thing I was, good at.
Yeah, or had a passion for, I guess.
I had a passion for, but not something that I was like, I cannot wait to get to work today. I cannot wait to do this. Where I jump in the studio now, and you know, or whether I'm DJing at weekends or I'm producing music during the week, and I'm like, I love everything.
So you wasn't fulfilled, I guess.
Exactly that. But in terms of, you know, between 18 to
like
20,
it's a very key what's the word, like poignant time in your life, I guess, where you're figuring a lot out about yourself.
It is.
You know?
I feel like my early, in between 18 and 25 until I went on Geordie, just flew.
Yeah,
I was down Leeds a lot. A few like I've got a load of best mates from down Leeds. I was down here every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then
who are you friends with from Leeds? Out of interest, I might know them.
Stephen Burns, just Stephen Burns.
I've heard the name. Yeah, rings a bell. Rings a bell.
Yeah, I've got loads of mates down here. We used to go out on a Thursday, go to Hectic on a Thursday, and then go to Mission on a Friday, Saturday.
Oh gosh, yeah, I used to go there as well.
Yeah, but I remember all about the days in a Mission when it used to be Kiss the Funk.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's showing my age now. So that's when I first fought. My best mate from school went to university down here, and Graham, and he's introduced me to a lot of good friends, and the nightlife down here was that scene for a good 3, 4, 5 years was just something we'll never ever get again. You know, and I mean,
probably not as good as Newcastle, because I've only had one ever night out in Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, really, for my age, because I'm 27, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
See, I think because you're from down this way, though, where with me in Newcastle, I was going out
always
Monday,
one
Tuesday,
way.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And the music down here as well, with a lot of the DJs, they were making music for the city, and you had a load of lads coming over from Manchester and from Newcastle. So you had them meeting in Leeds, all of us, and it was just a time where I was blessed to hear, all this music. Jack in House was massive back in the day.
Yes, it was.
And it was just the city was just bouncing.
Yeah.
And you had Tom Zanetti, who I'm mates with, flying around.
He was coming on the scene as well. Yeah.
He hadn't quite got there yet, but he was always destined to be big.
He would get in there, because I think he started out as just DJing locally, that kind of thing.
Tom's
built
a great
his way
lad.
up.
He's an absolute, he got me on my first feature film, Road. We did
Really?
Road together. I remember him giving me a call, and he's
Tell
such
us a
good
bit
lad.
about that. Yeah.
So that's how I first got into acting, really, through Tom.
Yeah, funnily enough.
I just got out of bed. I remember the phone call, because I just got out of bed, and he's like, "Oh, Rick, I've got there's this guy wanting a few celebs for a film. Do you fancy jumping on it?" I was like, "Yeah, 100%. The money's right there for us."
Yeah.
Anyway, I spoke to the guy. We boxed off a deal, and had us down. But it was fun doing it, man.
Amazing.
Seeing where Tom's gone from there
to where he is now.
It's
massive
crazy.
Leap, massive.
Yeah.
So speaking of partying, the nightlife, we're going to get on to Geordie Shore.
Yeah.
So I guess how did that come about? Was you scouted? Was you out partying? Someone approached you?
A few of the people were scouted. Rebecca was scouted. She was found in...
Oh, I remember Rebecca.
She was scouted in a bus stop. She came in my series. Vicky was scouted because she was fighting with a girl in the club.
Wow.
And the rest of us went for actual interviews in the juries. And it's changed the hotel now, but we went for interviews, but they were lining people up. So you had Jersey Shore in America that was doing absolute bits. It was huge.
Yeah, it was massive.
And we got our show because of them.
Really?
But they were basing character. They wanted characters like a Snooky, who was supposed to be Sophie.
Yeah.
They wanted a situation that was supposed to be Jay, and then obviously a change, with sort of characters.
Yeah, similar characters as possible, yeah.
But yeah, me and Gaz sort of went for the player role kind of thing, because, we've been around Newcastle and a bit of ladies, boys, and that kind of stuff with them. But yeah, I didn't get the first series, and then they gave me a call for the second series, and they said, "Oh, we'd love to have you. Can you come down to London tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." Went down, met all the 4 bosses. And they were saying, "What do you think about Sophie? What do you think about Charlotte?" Bearing in mind, I'd never watched the first series because I didn't have a clue what the girls' names were.
So you had no idea what you were walking into as well, what to expect, nothing.
And I was just like, "Yeah, I'd crack on with her. Yeah, I'd crack with her." Completely and utterly winged it.
And did you watch any of the Jersey Shores at the time as well?
I'd watched Jersey Shore. I thought it was insane. One of my mates, Chris Bradley, back in the day, said, "Mate, you'd be perfect for the show."
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. And, here we are, 13 years
later.
Yeah, exactly. 13
so
years.
How was the, I guess, application process, if you want to call it that? Like, was it a breeze? Were it straight away, yes, we want you? Did they feel the chemistry and like, yeah, you're perfect for this role for for Geordie? Like, how did that come about, I guess?
So Greg left after, Greg wasn't fitted for what they wanted.
Yeah.
After the first series. So they wanted me to fill, I think, the family role.
Fill that position, I guess.
Role.
Yeah.
It never worked out like that.
So that was never you. You felt that was never you. No.
Definitely not. They I quickly fell into the one that was causing the most arguments and havoc, and definitely stirring it up. It's but I feel like it needed me in it, and between everything that went on, and I'm sure we're going to get into it, me and Vicky and me and Gaz and everyone else, I was kicking off every 2 minutes.
Of course.
I pretty much spent half my time out the house either getting fined or in hotels because I was kicking off that much back in the day.
Yeah. And remind us of how old you was when you was
25.
25?
Yeah, 25, 26. I was still young.
Yeah, very young.
And I was at that stage as well where I was like, I do what I want when I want because of the life that I'd been brought up in. And, it was so strange. I remember going in and the roller balls would move in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
And, the cameras on you 24/7. It was kind of like...
And how many cameras are there? Is there a lot, like what you hear? Like a lot of cameras? Or are they all hidden? Or...
No, they're not hidden. They're just rollerballs.
They're just there, like in
for
your
example,
face.
When when you're getting down and dirty, having the doing the good stuff.
It's just there.
You
kind
can
of
hear
thing.
the rollerball go, and it's like zooming in. It's like,
oh,
you get a good picture there, guys.
Yeah.
But it was surreal. I remember first going in and talking about Vicky. Funny enough, when I was a topless host and Tupped Up in Newcastle, we'd actually met each other in a takeaway shop.
Previously,
which I never knew. She told me. And she was like, "Oh, do you remember you got my BB pin? Do you remember Blackberry's BB pin?"
Oh, of course, yeah, so, definitely.
So I got a BB pin apparently, and she's like, "Yeah, I deleted you because you started seeing another girl that I hated." So I was like, "Oh, all right, fair enough." But as soon as I went in, she was like, "I knew it would be you. I knew it'd be you."
Yeah,
and we just clicked straight away.
Yeah, and that was from you just walking into the house.
As soon as
that was your first greeting, I guess.
Straight away.
Yeah,
straight away. There was an instant connection.
And how did it feel in that moment of just walking in the house? Everyone looks at you. You obviously feel like you're on your own. You don't know anyone at this time.
But there was only Vicky and Sophie when I went in, so them two were only in the house, and then I went in.
Yeah.
So there was only three of us. But the Geordie Shore house was massive. For us being, for walking in and seeing it at the time. Yeah. It was, a big space.
Yeah.
And I was just sat there and I was like, obviously the camera's on you and we're having conversations. So I'm like, this is such a surreal experience. Yeah. It's weird. It's strange.
Yeah. So that's what your instant thoughts were, I guess. This is... not out your comfort zone, but just strange, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, it wasn't really out of my comfort zone. I just felt like, you quickly, by the way, adapt and you quickly forget that they're there, especially after one or two drinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, it was, as soon as the wheels started in motion, everyone started coming in the house, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
You sort of forget they're there.
Amazing. So was there anyone who you didn't gravitate towards and absolutely, like... We all have that first impression of someone where we're like, I'd never get on with you on the outside world. Was there anyone, I guess, who you had that towards, like guy or girl or anyone? No, to be honest with you. Not when I first went in. There was obviously a lot of heated moments when I was in the house, which I'm sure was great TV for everyone. But in terms of hating anyone, I didn't hate anyone. Even Vicky the Star, I don't hate her. We might disagree on a lot of stuff. We might have a huge past, a huge history with each other, but... in terms of what we did and where we've both been and, especially doing X on the Beach and Geordie Shore, we've done some big numbers, Yeah, since then, huge. Of course,
But, when I first went in, it was just kind of like, let's have fun.
And like you just said a moment ago, the chemistry was there with her straight away. Instantly. And tell us through...
This is how much the chemistry was there. So on the first night out, so we weren't in a relationship straight away, but... The lads were like, let's go out, let's go pull some birds. And I was like, yeah, let's go pull some birds. And I wasn't allowed. Yeah. Because the producers instantly saw with her being attracted to me and me being attracted to her at the time.
They could tell the chemistry was there.
She had a boyfriend as well, so that was like TV gold. So I wasn't allowed to leave the area at the time.
So you were allowed to have partners, was you on the outside?
Yeah, we were.
But just not talk about them, I guess?
No, we were, but... how it worked out with, Charlotte being with Gaz, me being with Vicky, James being with Holly. Them storylines are like gold dust for producers and, and
for viewers, of course. 100%. Yeah.
even now, you know, you still get, you know, people coming in from outside, whether it's girlfriends or boy, whatever, and the viewers will want to see something going on that's in the house, you know, because they want to see cast members getting on. Yeah, exactly. I want to see cast members getting the crack on with each other. But yeah, reverting back to that first night, me and Vicky left. They put us in a taxi home together. You know, I didn't know what was going on back in the day. Now I know exactly
just went with it. Yeah.
Now I know exactly what was going on. But listen, I get it. You know, it's TV and they know what they're doing. You know, they're very clever people, and you know they get paid a lot.
They know
money.
how to stage things and make things happen. You know,
of course they do. But they didn't stage it. But it was kind of like, you know, we're going to nudge you this way, and you're going to nudge that way, and
and see what happens with it.
We're going to make sure you two spend a hell of a lot of time together. So no, it was fun.
Yeah, so talk us through, I guess, the early stages of that, like seeing Vicky, like growing, I guess, some kind of a relationship, like the early stages, dates, that kind of thing.
You kind of miss all the honeymoon period being in the house, like the cinema dates, going for food, going out for nights out and drinks, out the window straight away. You know, we used to film for 5-6 weeks. Now we film for 2.
Yeah.
Where you got to think, drinking 5 nights a week. We only got a Sunday off. You're not allowed your phones. You're cut off from the main world, you know, and it's not eating properly, and you're drinking every day, you know.
And you couldn't really, I guess, have some time to yourself, you know, and have a bit of downtime.
Your mind doesn't switch off either.
So you have to constantly be on 24/7.
Yeah.
And I guess as we all know, with reality TV, you've got to be confident, you've got to be like very, you know, hyper, energetic, and you had to be like that 24/7.
You've got to be able to, you know, it's like you've got to be an alpha, really. You've got to be a big personality to handle yourself. You can't walk in there. You'll quickly get found out if you can't stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to do that a lot because obviously I was arguing a lot, but I loved it. You know, I love the drama. I love all the thing. You know, it's great for entertainment for the viewers.
Of course.
And for everyone watching at home and stuff. And I mean, as much as I say that, sometimes I took it too far. You know, there was a fight that me and Gaz had.
Yes, because this is what I wanted to get on to. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Go on then.
Just
I see you crossing you like you're smirking there straight away.
Just any, I guess, highlights for you from Geordie Shore, good and bad, what stood out to you. So yeah, getting on to that, tell us about that fight with Gaz, I guess, because that kind of went iconic. You know,
it was big. Everyone thought I started, but I didn't actually start. Funny enough, which was the first for me, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think one of my mates, Leroy, or one of the lads anyway, it was the end of the series house party.
Yeah.
And one of the lads was necking on with Charlotte, and I was in the toilet. I was washing my hands. I was just being in the toilet, and I remember Gaz come flying through the toilet door. There's no cameras in there.
Yeah.
But we're all mic'd up. So Gaz come flying through, and I can't remember what we said to each other.
Yeah.
But I can't remember whether he headbutted us or he put his head on my head.
Yeah.
And then like pushed my head or whatever, and then he ran out.
Yeah.
Then I remember I was like, who the fuck are you? And then I ran out after him, launched the can off his back, and then for the next 3 hours, we were going at each other.
3 hours, wow.
It went on for ages. There was cameras flying all over the place. There was obviously security all there, but it was going on and on and on. You know, we both got fined 10 grand that night. Wow. So as much as they loved the drama,
they regretted that.
And even the viewers loved it. We got fined for, you know, for taking it a bit too far. And, you know, it probably was too far and stuff. But, you know, it's looking back now, it is what it is. It was a bit of fun, and, you know, me and Gaz get on fine. But hopefully he comes back next series and starts playing golf. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that. So how was your time in Cancun then, Ricky?
Brutal. Hard work. But I started a lot of fun, even though I got kicked out of the house 3 times. We were getting up at 10 o'clock in the morning, going to the beach, drinking tequila cokes, getting absolutely hammered, having a load of fun filming with the Americans who were nuts. You got to remember, it's their first time. A lot of, you know, 21-year-olds away from their parents on spring break. Yeah. We're like, yeah, man. I remember me and Gaz going to the beach on one of our first scenes, and there was 2 blokes on the balcony, and they were getting sucked off by these 2 girls. Oh, no. And they were like, yeah. And then they were like, watch this. And then the 2 girls swapped over, and we were like, Jesus Christ, this is nuts. But yeah, that was the start of it, Cancun, really. And then I remember me and Vicky doing a scene in this lake, the same lake that me and her got engaged near. The restaurant was like overlooking the lake.
Yeah.
But we were in the water doing a scene up to like knee height. The camera crew were in there as well. Anyway, weeks later, you know, after I just asked her to marry us, there was a crocodile that came out the same lake. And I remember looking at the camera crew and be like, wow, crocodiles in that lake. We were filming that like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're lucky, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was just an insane experience. I mean, me and Vicky argued relentlessly over there, and you know, I mean, she gave us a good slap and good whack. And you know, I remember Jay saying, "Mate, you could hear that, like, you know, through the villa."
Yeah.
How hard it was. I mean, you couldn't do that now. I mean, you'd be getting
probably cancelled or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be your career done now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of stuff, it's listen, what we all did back then, we all enjoyed it, you know, and we had a hell of a lot of fun creating one of the biggest TV shows that's currently still going in the world.
Amazing. So, how did things kind of end between yourself and Vicky?
Not great.
Was
not
it
great.
No.
Not great at all. When I left, you know, she was kind of looked after, and which I understand. She was first one in there, and she was a big personality, and you would keep her definitely 100%. Which, you know, I didn't have anything against MTV, but you know, for me, what peed us off and pisses off was, you know, after X on the Beach, I thought it would get left.
Yeah.
And it was the relentless stories she was selling on us. You know, and I understand there's a game to play in the industry, but when you're doing story after story, even Jay, who's the most timid and, you know, relaxed person in the world, he said, mate, I had to, you know, tweet her and say, you know, chill out until Ricky's. Yeah. There was Sally Axel standing up for us as well.
Yeah.
Because she was just going on and on. She was making a hell of a lot of money off it.
Yeah.
And, you know, selling an absolute load of tripe, load of lies. So, listen, it is what it is. But
was there quite bad stories as well?
I just remember being in that room with all the press and them coming at me from every single angle. Vicky said this, Vicky said that, Vicky said this. I remember thinking, I could ruin your career right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember what I was thinking. I remember at the time, and I thought, I'm not going to. I'm going to be the bigger person. But, you know, all the grief and all the, you know, the shit I was getting from public point of view.
Yeah.
And, you know, I took that on the chin, and, you know, it is what it is with it. But listen, I wish her nothing but the best.
Yeah.
And you know,
on a positive note, of course.
If she's got the kahunas to come back to Geordie Shore, you know, give the fans what they want, and let's get it on again and see what happens really. And
yeah. So you think you and Vicky could potentially have some, not a relationship, but a friendship from?
I don't know about relationship, to be honest with you, but do you know, it's the unknown, and what would have been perfect for Celebrity Big Brother now? They should have, you know, got me and Vicky on there. It would have been
to resolve
secret.
things.
Not really resolve. I mean, who knows? And it's the unknown which people want to see. The last time people saw me and Vicky together was X on the Beach, and how'd that go down? Yeah. X on the Beach, the episode that I walked out on, was the highest ever rated episode from the first series of an MTV show ever in the world. Wow. So that's the numbers that I did. You know,
yeah, exactly.
They showed me every single week. They weren't showing anyone else coming out the water every single week.
Yeah.
And
in the little snippets kind of thing. I noticed that, yeah.
I was trending, when I first walked out, I was touring Australia at the time, and I was trending #1 worldwide, you know, and it was like, Ricky, you know, it was, and I got so much love for it, and that's when the public perception changed of us, you know, and they thought, actually, Ricky isn't as bad as, you know, what he was like on Geordie, but listen, it is what it is. We're in reality TV world. It's all fun and games. You know, you can't get edited perfectly all the time. And
exactly.
I love it. I love it. You know, I love working with Lime. I love working with MTV. And
you've got to be yourself. You've got to be yourself,
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. But I do think Celeb Big Brother missed a trick not putting me and her in, especially for the first one. Because it's that unknown. I mean, I don't know how it would go down, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could have gone either way.
There's a lot of conversations that could be had.
Yeah.
Because we've both not been perfect.
Yeah.
I've not been perfect myself, and I mean, she's definitely not. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
So, I guess moving on from that, what has been a very positive thing that you've taken from Geordie Shore, would you say?
Positive.
You've got all the memories, all memories, good and bad.
I mean, even when we went to Cancun was a massive learning curve. I got kicked out of the house 3 times over there. The management was on the phone to us going, why can't you just say fucking not one word and just sit there and say nothing? And I remember saying, you know, I'm knackered, I'm tired, we're drinking twice a day, we'll go to the beach, and the Americans were nuts. They were crazy. But in terms of being over there. Obviously, me and Vicky got engaged over there.
Yeah.
Had a plane flying over saying, Vicky, will you marry, and all that kind of stuff. And, once upon a time, we did love each other, which was cool.
She did seem like the one for you at the time.
At the time,
would you say?
We were both really stubborn.
Very similar in ways and different in ways.
Yeah, and we both wanted our own way, and and we never wanted to back down, and it can just. We were both in the wrong a lot of the time. I'm not taking all the blame, and I'm not saying that she's taking all the blame, but listen, it is what it is. We in a way became a brand. I still get shouted Ricci and Vicky all the time and that kind of stuff. So and we went on to do made X on the Beach. That was from us, basically kicking off all the time. Yeah, me really, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Amazing. So what was kind of, I guess, the downfall of where things went wrong with you and Vicky personally? Where was it just where you had to call it a day, basically?
I'll get onto the latest stuff after, because there's the stuff that happened in Big Brother that's left a sour taste in my mouth. But in terms of whilst we were together, what a lot of people don't know is she was actually messaging a rugby player while seeing us.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think it was me.
No, I didn't know.
I'm not going to dive into names and that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that people don't know.
Yeah.
That and I'm definitely not going to dive into all of it.
But that would upset you, of course.
100%.
That things that she did that upset you, basically. Yeah.
But as we were as a couple as well, there's a lot of stuff that went on, which is it's pretty disgusting, and it's, I'm not going to go down there. That being said, there's a lot of things that people don't know. Mm-hmm. But when I left Geordie, it was kind of like, right, sweet, clean slate.
Fresh start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knew I was getting Celebrity Big Brother because Charlotte had just opened that door, and I've got massive respect for Charlotte, by the way. She was the first one from Geordie.
Yeah, she went on just before you, I believe, didn't she?
She did the summer before me, but
yes.
I signed. I think I signed around the same time as her because they wanted me for the summer after. Mm-hmm. But funny enough, they wanted me because of kicking off all the time and arguing and
the drama.
They wanted that male, good-looking person in, and with the top off in the walking around the garden, that kind of stuff. So I signed a year before. So when I left Geordie, I was upset. Mm-hmm. Because I loved being on the show, and it gave me the start of my career, which obviously I'm appreciative to MTV for now and Lime. But
what was the kind of ending with Geordie Shore? How did it kind of end? Did you decide to leave? Did the producers?
Producers thought enough's enough. Really, me and Vicky were getting that bad.
Yeah, where you just butted heads and it was too much.
It was just disrupting the house on every level.
Yeah,
like every day there was something going on, and there's only so much, cast members were getting sick of it, which I can understand. If that was me being a cast member, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, they're going at it again.
So it would be you two and never anyone else, basically?
Not really, no. Not really. And, fair enough if you're the one here and there, but when it's getting relentless, even the, MTV and stuff, they're like, right, enough's enough.
We need to part these two, basically. Yeah.
Basically, so I was the one that got my head chopped off and got kicked out. But you say
which is a shame, because I personally really enjoyed watching you on Geordie Shore. I thought you smashed it.
I appreciate it. I was only in 4 series, which a lot of people forget. People thought I was in a lot longer, and the career that I've managed to map out and have from kicking off is insane.
Has benefited you, if anything.
Massively insane.
Yeah. Because I think, was it from series 2 till 5, I believe, thought it was.
Yeah.
So it's quite a few series. You've done well. You've got a huge portfolio with that, at least,
Yeah, well...
a big time of your life as well, from 25 to, I guess, nearly 30, I suppose.
Basically.
Yeah.
But it was not long after that where I think I got kicked out maybe March time.
Yeah.
And then I'd signed for Celeb, I think, in the summer. Mm-hmm. Not long after, I knew we're having talks, but I didn't officially sign until the summer. Obviously, negotiating fees and that kind of stuff. And then I got a call for X on the Beach. Now, this is a funny one where they told me it was called The Summer of Love.
Yeah.
It was a brand new singles TV show that they wanted me for on MTV, and they think I'd be perfect for and great for. I remember being on the phone to Jay, which we still laugh about now, and I was like, bro, they want me for a brand new singles TV show. It's got nothing to do with Vicky, moving away from her and blah, blah. And he was like, mate, great. Signed the dotted line, went over to Marbella, and they were like, we're bringing you in. The housemates are already in, but want to bring you in, to sort of ruffle a few feathers and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, cool, get me in. So anyway, I was sat on the beach for about 7 hours, sunburnt to hell.
7 hours?
Hours.
My God, I could never do that.
Hours.
Never.
And all you could see was a windbreaker, like, 100 metres down, 100 yards, whatever it was. Anyway, it was long, like, it was pretty far down the beach.
Yeah, and what country was this?
Marbella.
Marbella, yeah.
Yeah, it was bottom of Spain. And, in terms of, they made us swim all the way down the water. And I thought, what the hell am I doing here? Anyway, got down, started walking out the water, and I was like, never. No way. And
she was
Vicky was sat there. And then, I can't remember which other girl. I think it was Chloe.
Yeah.
I was sat there as well. And, I was just like, never. Walked out the water. She threw a glass of water on us. And I was like, well, I've just got out the water, so that's pointless. And then she looked like she was going to glasses. So I remember one of the producers grabbing the glass off her.
Yeah. Try to stop her. Restraining early.
But they took that off, and I thought, this is going to be a whirlwind. I know it is.
Yeah.
And she was going, you don't know what you've got yourself in for. I'm going to make your life hell. And
really?
She knew what was going on. So she had a chance to plant seeds and all the other house,
Oh, so she got given the heads up in a sense.
She knew.
Oh, I never knew that.
Knew.
Yeah.
And she thought this was her TV show for her. No. If it wasn't for me kicking off all the time as the show on Geordie, we would never have got that show. Yeah. So I'll take the congratulations for making X on the Beach. That being said, being in the house was the worst experience that I've ever had to do. I was glad I did it after it.
So was it worse than Geordie for you personally?
100%.
Yeah.
Just purely because when I walked into the villa, every lad, because they were under Vicky's thumb, and they didn't want to upset Vicky.
Yeah, I can only just imagine what you're going to say. Yeah.
But I had to be, and this is what I'm saying about standing your own 2 feet and being like a big personality. I had to go in there and, and hold my own and basically do what I had to do. And
that's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I got along with Suzanne. She was on Geordie, and then she was a producer at the time, and Lime have always been great to us, and it was just 3-4 days of hell basically of being over there, and I think Vicky, the way she acted and went on, showed her true colours, which I was glad to see, and glad for them to show properly instead of just me kicking off every time or making it look like I was
painted as the bad guy.
Painted as the bad one, which I wasn't all the time. But I definitely took the rap a few times more than I should have. Definitely. Yeah.
And was there anyone who, I guess, gave you a real hard time about that? Anyone, any names in particular? You don't have to. You don't have to out anyone.
Everyone.
Obviously.
She was seeing Dan, this absolute unit from over Australia. I remember he was massive. And I was like, "There's no security going to stop him. Like, there's no security." And they were very hands-on.
I don't want to speak to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it was just hell. I remember sleeping by myself downstairs. I was by myself pretty much the whole time in the villa. And, I didn't mind in terms of being like, look, I'm here to do a job, and and I saw the way she was going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other casts didn't really understand reality TV as such, because
that was their kind of first.
Yeah, exactly, first series where me and Vicky knew
how the game works.
Yeah,
I guess.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I knew sitting there and just taking a load of flack off, I was like, you're doing yourself no favours here, like, kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're going on like an absolute muppet.
Yeah.
And you're showing your true colours of, how you've acted with us when we've not been filming as well, though. And it's
which you don't have to tell us about that if it's too personal, obviously.
No, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that went on that I wouldn't say, to be honest with you. It's been there, it's gone, and I hope that never has to come up. But in terms of stuff, it just massively disappointed us when, obviously, X on the Beach, I thought that was going to be it.
Yeah.
And when I went into Celebrity Big Brother, she was selling story after story after story after story, saying that I'd stole money, or I lent money off her, or I never paid, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what are you going to do? I remember being sat in a room with all these interviewers, the Sun and the Daily Star and everything, being sat in a room by myself, and I was getting grilled. I mean, grilled. And they were all coming at me like,
So they was even against you as well.
Yeah, but they were wanting us to bite, and I was sitting there thinking, well, none of this is,
Don't
true.
give them what they want.
No, it's kind of like, I was thinking, are you on Vicky's side here?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I could ruin Vicky's career, to be honest with you, sat here, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like, well, she's saying all this kind of stuff. I'm like, are you mad? Like, really? Are you mad? Are you mental? But listen, it is what it is. She obviously made a load of money for me, and she was a lot of jealousy for me getting Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah. Because, Vicky never went on, I believe, did she? No, I thought not.
And fair play to her, she's obviously gone on to do The Jungle, you know, and she's having a great career now. I wish her all the best. But it's stuff like that where it's kind of like, look, listen, this should have been, you know, left when we were filming. You know,
yeah, that chapter should have closed there, basically.
Yeah.
And you wanted to do this new exciting reality show, wanted to move on from the past, and she was just there, obviously, so you couldn't do that for yourself.
Yeah.
For your own well-being, you couldn't move on yourself.
Yeah, and I was trying to, and I'll explain it why. But I remember when I went for the interviews for Celeb Big Brother, I'd been out the night before, and I was actually still pissed.
Yeah.
And my manager, Mark, at the time was like, are you mad? He was like, you stink of alcohol. And I was like, oh, do we? He's like, have some chewing gum. Anyway, met Hannah and Rosanna, and met them at the K West Hotel in London. And I was in there for 2 minutes, click, straight away. They were like, yeah, perfect. You're everything we wanted. And, you know, they were great. They really were. Got along with them straight away. They were like, sweet, great, done. Amazing. 2 minutes. Yeah. And, you know, we spoke about other people, not going to mention who, you know, and rather than talking about myself. And that was it. Done from there, basically. But it was the conversations with my management before going in. I wanted to... you know, change the public's opinion of us going into Celebrity Big Brother. Yeah,
from the previous shows,
yeah, because
obviously.
all I'd done is argue, fight, you know.
Drama, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And, you know, and I could have in Celebrity Big Brother, and that's exactly what I signed us up for.
Yeah.
But, you know, I actually got along with quite a few people in there. Mm-hmm. And what they did was, in there, we didn't really get much food for the first 11 days. You know, I did a live with Frenchie, who was on, you know, the same series, and what they did, we didn't get much food the first 11 days, and normally that makes you tired and, you know, and angry and stuff. With me, it was sending me to sleep. I said, give me food, give me a drink on a night.
Yeah.
I'll give you everything you want.
Yeah.
But it was one night I was like, you've stuck a 27-year-old party boy in here with no tools. I was like, screw it, we weren't getting much drink. I think that was because Ofcom got involved because Charlotte had pissed the bed the year before. So thanks, Charlotte.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of... Yeah, being in there, it was long days. It really was.
Yeah,
and, you know,
I bet it did drag. I bet it did.
We only had one activity to do a day for an hour. You know, and it's getting the right blend of cast where really the only thing is to do is to argue and drink and chill during the day. Really.
Yeah.
You know, me and David. I mean, David McIntosh, who's one of my best mates still from that series.
Yeah.
He's I mean, we spent 3 months together outside when I came out of Big Brother. We were just living in London, living the high life. I think we spent about 120 grand between us. Yeah. You know, in 3 months, we were literally just going at it.
Yeah.
Kelly Brook being on the phone, being like, Ricky, make sure you look after David. I was like, I can't even look after myself.
So you got like a friend for life when you went on there. I mean, was that a good experience for you then? Did it turn that narrative of what you'd had from previous shows? Did it really turn around for you?
Yeah, I mean, me and Lauren Goodger were sort of cracking on in there, you know, and I mean, it definitely did. In terms of, could I have been any different? Probably. And, you know, it was just down to the lack of food and lack of, you know, drinking at night time, giving you something to do.
Exactly.
You know, I want to entertain.
Just like work out or something to like do, you know. They should have things set up like activities, or if you're bored, things you can just go and do, you know.
Yeah, it's Big Brother, but that being said, you know, they put you in there because you're a big personality, and you know
they want to see what you like with everything taken away and stripped away from you, basically.
Yeah, and they're sticking personalities in there that they don't think is gonna get along.
Yeah,
they want people to clash. But you know, there were people that clashed. I remember Frenchie running around with a pair of scissors, cutting up Leslie Jordan's, you know, clothes. I'm thinking, I'm sure this is wrong. Like, you shouldn't be running around. It's like something from Scream or something like that. Running around with a pair of scissors.
I know.
But yeah, it was a crazy series. I was very fortunate to do it. I'm blessed. I got to do, you know, one of the biggest reality TV shows in, you know, in the UK. I mean, Celeb Big Brother is, you know, it's It's massive.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest shows probably in the world, you know, because you get people from all over the world that come on, you know.
I've done a few lives in the past few nights, and I've had Perez Hilton on, I've had Jasmine Waltz, you know, I had Alex Reid on the other night, and
yeah, because it's just started again, hasn't it?
I mean, all of them are like, yeah, I'd come back and do it again. I'm like, yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah.
I keep inviting them on Geordie Shore as well. The producers don't know yet. I'm like, yeah, we normally have like family and friends at the last reunion. They're like, yeah, man, get me on.
Yeah. So you still, do you still speak to MTV then? Are you still in quite close contact?
I've got a great working relationship with MTV. Yeah. I've got a great working relationship with Lime as well.
Yeah.
I've worked with them for 13 years, you know, and there's some people probably that don't.
Yeah.
They've been looked after, and they probably has not treated Lime and MTV as well as they should have.
Yeah.
But I've got along with, you know, UK and Australia MTV as well. I've got great working relationship with them.
Amazing.
Yeah, I do my job. That's why you know it's listen, it is what it is. If I get a call for doing something, you know, if the time's right and the money's right, then
exactly, and it's for yourself, obviously, and something you have an interest in, then you're there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some TV shows I'd probably stay away from, but I think now at a time in my life as well, I've done Geordie. We're still doing Geordie, and you know, this is one of the
it's still going, isn't it? Yeah,
this is one of the no offense, but I mean, no offense, but this is one of the main reasons I've come down, you know, to speak with you about. There's so many projects I've got going on.
Yeah.
And especially with Geordie flying again now, you know, it's I'm glad to see fans loving it again and enjoying it again, you know, and I'm thankful to MTV and Lime for, you know, first getting us on the show and putting me on and picking us out of the thousands of people, you know, that they cut off. You know, I'm one of these people that, you know, I'm very loyal, and you know, I'll give my all for you. But in terms of Geordie now, it's got the wheels moving again. You know, it's getting some of the old viewers back again. The OGs are back like the Avengers.
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
And we've came back. You know, the amount of love me and Jay have got this series. We've all been like, you can tell the best mate. We've got a bromance.
Yeah, I was going to say you're very close to Jay and James. I believe.
James as well. Yeah, Kyle as well. All four of us were in a group together. You know, and the lads are constantly taking the piss out of me. It's always me that they're taking the piss out of.
But that's what you want. Like it's kind of like school friends in a way, you know.
Yeah, I'm always the one that's getting ripped to shreds, unfortunately.
But it's really nice to see that you're all still in touch and still like that to this day. You know, it's very refreshing to see. You know, because a lot of people from shows are kind of the friends at the time, then they part ways, do their own thing. You know, lose touch. So it's very nice to see as that. You know.
The lads now, even with Nathan involved, there's a nice balance.
Yeah.
I say that because, you know, Nathan is very much out there. He's flamboyant.
He's
good.
Amazing.
He's a good-looking kid. He's great to look at. Obviously, you've got myself, Jay, and James, which I'm nearly an OG. I'm pretty much an OG, you know, with them two, and it's Kyle, for seeing how much he sort of took my reins from kicking off and getting kicked out all the time when I left. Yeah. He sort of took over from me, and, you know.
I noticed that. Yeah, I did notice that, actually. He was kind of painted as the new bad guy, you know. I noticed that.
And, I mean, now he's got, you know, a wonderful son and, you know, and a nice missus. So, listen, we're all sort of growing up. I'd like to say I'm growing up as much as them, but I'm still that single party boy, you know.
It's still inside you. It's still here.
Yeah. Love it. You know, I'm going to ask the producers next series, though, if we could do a little bit like Love Island kind of thing and put bombshells in for me each week.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, it'd be really good. Yeah. Just for Ricky, though.
Yeah.
Just for Ricky.
Yeah, that's a good concept, actually.
It is really, isn't it?
Yeah.
See what we can
put it past them, definitely,
I will do,
you know.
100%.
Yeah, throw it into the universe. So from Celebrity Big Brother, you then did you do any other TV shows? Anything that stands out? What was kind of that phase of your life?
I did Celebrity Dinner Date.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do. Tell us a bit about that. How was that for you?
It's crazy. I was in Iron Upper at the time. My manager phoned me. He's like, "Oh, ITV. Is ITV? I'm sure it's ITV.
It's ITV, I think, yeah.
ITV want you to do Celebrity Dinner Date. Can you fly back X, Y, Z? And I was like, how much is it? I'm living life in Iron Upper. And he was like, I was like, yeah, sweet, let's go. Literally flew back the day before, and so much fun. So much fun. Literally going 3 days, 4 days, you know, filming it. One cameraman, you know, one PD, and I mean, it was just great filming.
Yeah.
You know, doing that kind of thing was fun, short and sweet. It was enjoyable. Add to the bucket list, that kind of thing. But you know, it really started hitting home with, you know, the magnitude of how big Geordie is when we started touring Australia.
Yeah.
I'd done.
Yeah, because I think, did you go over to Australia then about that time as well?
Just after.
Yeah.
I need to thank Sophie for this, actually.
Yeah, shout out Sophie.
Shout out to Sophie. I don't think she knows it either. She broke her arm.
Oh, did she?
The day before she was meant to be touring, and the manager I've actually got now was the manager that looks after all of us over there. I've actually fully signed him, and he phoned me saying, "Could you tour tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, pack your bags. I'll sort the flight out." So she broke her arm. I went on that tour, and then we had conversations over there. We were huge in Australia, like massive in Salah. Obviously not as big as, you know, back in the heyday, but we were
still very
crazy.
big.
We'd tweet that we're going to an airport, and there'd be I remember, you know, loads of kids waiting at the airport with shot glasses. I had a paparazzi woman chasing through Adelaide airport. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, it was just a place where we all went and toured, and I was obviously at the time where I didn't know I was going to be moving over there, but we had conversations with me and my management, and he said, "Oh, would you fancy moving over?" I said, "Yeah, 100%. If we can get everything worked out, where I know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it." He's like, "Go home, give us a month, and then we'll put the wheels in motion." And then I signed with Carl and Jackie O for a year, doing the biggest radio station over there, Carl Sandland, you know, and Jackie O. Unbelievably, you know, thankful to them for having us on each week, and did a Universal Pictures film with Chris Sun. On the tour that me and James did for Australia, I actually met the director from then over there, and he was like, "I'd love to get one of you on the film." Yeah. And me and Chris stayed in touch, and he said he kept in touch saying, when you're moving, I'll get you an acting coach. I had 4 months of acting coach, and then I jumped into doing a huge mega film with 80 people on set and cameras on cranes, and thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? It was just one of them surreal things where it was just insane to do. But Australia was just mental. I did X After Dark as well with MTV.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I filmed Australia's Ultimate Worldie as well, which we toured around the whole of Australia.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to ask as well about the show. You know, how was that? Because was it your own show?
It was. Funny enough, it didn't come to, you know, light because we were negotiating with MTV. As much as you would have wanted it. Yeah. No, we were negotiating with MTV at the minute, at the time, and we didn't get the money that we were after, me and my manager, and they wanted to change a cast member each series, where I wasn't down for that. Yeah. So it was our pilot, and that was our idea. That being said, it was one of the most insane ideas ever, and it happened because we toured Australia doing Australia's Ultimate World. You're going around Australia looking for Australia's hottest girl, but that came with boyfriends, and that came with girls, and that came with a lot of drama. That was insane.
And, you know, great TV.
It would have been insane. And I think MTV missed out on one.
It's a shame, because I looked into it, and that would have been amazing, personally, I think.
It was drama.
Yeah.
And back then, it was just nuts, because all the Australian girls as well were sort of like fighting with each other, because, you know, they were trying to get close to me. And maybe I've got close to one of them, and my manager went nuts. You say, "You can't do that, man. You're professional." I'm talking an American accent. I don't know why I'm talking an American accent. But yeah, I remember we're in the finals up in Darwin, and one of the boyfriends and girlfriends ended up having a massive row, and it all kicked off. And me and my manager was scared. He was running out the fire exit door, and there was just so much went on, and we were like, "Damn, this is a TV show. This is a TV show." And we filmed the pilot for it. You know, we went to 4 different cities, filmed the pilot, took to MTV. MTV loved it, but it just money wasn't right, and changing cast members. They wanted to put a Geordie Shore cast member on each series. Yeah, and I wasn't down for that. It was either me or nothing.
Well, it's kind of, you're out of that stage of your life by then, I imagine, and you just wanted to move away just a little bit from it by that time of your life.
Yeah, but it was our creation, it was our idea, and it was, you know, it was kind of like our baby, you know, mine and my managers, you know, and we had Melody Thornton for the Pussycat Dolls on it as well.
Oh, wow,
yeah. So, you know, we were going all in, and Melody she was so good. The Americans are so flamboyant, charismatic.
Yeah,
you
over the top, and they love it.
Honestly, man, they're great, you know, and Yeah, Melody's a good friend, and she was great having it on it, and it looked $1 million, you know.
Yeah,
and
you had everything ready to go, basically.
Everything, but, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, things happen, and, you know, that's business, I suppose, as the old saying goes. But, so, you gave that a go, and did you move back from Australia, back home? I
lived over there for a year. I did about 78, 79 PAs.
Yeah.
And if you can imagine the size of Australia as well, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
So you fit the whole of Europe into Australia. So when I'm doing PA after PA after PA and flying and flying and flying,
yeah,
you know, it takes a toll on his body. Eating fast food, doing the Universal Pictures film, having an acting coach for 4 months, doing Cal and Jackie once a week, doing MTVX After Dark. My mind, my body was like, you are knackered.
Yeah,
I was overweight.
Yeah,
I was on the beach. I got popped, and then pictures went viral. You know, I was completely and utterly like a little fat slob.
Exposing your,
a little fat slob on the beach, eating my Big Mac. But do you know what it is? We had a conversation at the end before I moved back to the UK. Before I came back to the UK, because I only had a 1-year visa at the time, and I said, I can't do this again. If I'm coming back over, I cannot do this again.
Yeah.
Even though I was making a ton of money, for me, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
But there was no end goal. There needed to be something, and this is how the music started.
Yeah.
Because we sat down, he was like, well, you've got a huge passion for music. You love your music. Have you ever thought about DJing? I thought, do you know what it is? Why the hell have I not thought about DJing before?
Of course, yeah.
So I made that leap of faith, came back to the UK with absolutely no work over here. Bought decks, bought a mixer, bought everything. Locked myself in my basement, practice.
Until you had the craft mastered, I guess. Yeah,
there's my mate Jed, Joel Sensation, and Josh Goodwill, who I make all music with now. Them three, honestly, I'm thankful to them three. They were helping us all the time, showing us all the time, and I wanted to learn the craft properly, and I wanted to do it properly. Not one of these fake reality TV stars where it's come in and they're fake DJ sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know, the press is sync and that kind of, no.
Yeah,
if I do something, it's you know, it's done properly, and it's train your ear, and it's train your hands to count the beat. And
because I bet it's a lot harder than it looks as well. You know.
In my head, I thought 3 months, I've got this.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's the arrogance in me.
That's what you think, though, don't you? You know.
And it's 2 years, 2.5 years it took me to properly. And then you need to get confident. And I was fortunate enough because my friend Holly had a bar in Durham.
Yeah.
Where I was going in and I was basically practicing and doing it in front of crowds. And I was training myself. Yeah. Doing, you know, smaller crowds whether the bar was quiet or it was full. Yeah. You know, and I got comfortable doing it in front of people. You know, I remember Jamie Jones always saying that, you know, I think he learned his trade where mostly doing it in an empty room, you know, playing to, I can't remember what Ibiza place it was, but
I think that's the best way to learn though, isn't it? Just lock yourself away, master it, get some people who can coach you that know the craft, and then give it however long until you think you're ready, and then just go for it and see what people's opinions are on it, I guess.
I always put pressure on myself. You know, I didn't want to come in, especially with having Joel from Geordie Shore, and you see the success Joel's having now as well. I didn't want to do something where, you know, I wasn't doing it properly. Yeah. You know, and I was doing it as a charade. I was doing it for, you know, just to make a little bit of money here and there. You know, if I do something, it's getting done properly, and you know, I want to be the best at it, and that, whether that comes to producing and making music, or, you know, I've shadowed Josh for the past 6 years, and, you know, I absolutely love it. And the DJ stuff and seeing people vibe to, you know, I've released 6 tracks now with Love Another, and 7 in total, and I've just got 6 tracks signed to a new ITV show.
Oh, amazing!
Got them cleared for them to be on a new ITV show, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
But now with MTV playing my music, you know, and things are starting to move, and I'm enjoying it, man. I'm just enjoying it.
Amazing.
I'm touring all over the UK doing Pop World TV.
Yeah.
Where I'm DJing, I'm hosting it, and, you know, I'm having a lot of fun with everyone that can get involved. It's people's chance to be in front of the camera instead of watching all of us.
Yeah,
you know,
it's kind of your time to just get away from that and, like, sort of have the camera, like, away from you for a change, and, like, go a bit, not under the radar, but I guess do something that's not so much out there, like what Geordie Shore was, and, you know.
It's very, Yeah, it's not Geordie Shore. It's completely different.
It's a bit more peaceful than that, I imagine.
It's definitely not peaceful. Like, wait to see the episodes. It's just shenanigans, you know, and it's just people having fun. Anyone that's ever been to a pop world, it's just, you get all ages in there. It's a hell of a lot of fun. There's never any issues, never any drama. The staff are great. The managers are great. You know,
everyone's
the bosses
just there to have fun.
The bosses that look after me, you know, that have came up with this idea. You know, it's I couldn't have got a better fit. To be honest with you, it's my perfect job. If I could have got one, I absolutely love it. You know, and whether I'm filming 3, 4, 5 hours there, I'm doing it to the T. If everyone's getting done properly. And
do you think you would have done that years ago, or do you think the timing's perfect for you now? Perfect rather than earlier on.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of PAs back in the day, you know, and I was fortunate enough to see Joel back in the day before he went, you know, megastar kind of thing, and seeing how he worked. And
did you take any advice from him?
Not advice, but I remember how he acted. I did I'm with the same agent he used to be with.
Right.
So he used to DJ and I used to do a PA.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, a lot of them that he used to do, he used to turn up, not drink, he used to do your gig, do all his photos and bounce. You know,
also very business.
Very professional, very level-headed, you know, and knew where he wanted to go, you know, very good work ethic, you know, and hats off to him. He deserves everything that he's getting now. You know, he's very hardworking, and you know, it's shame he can't drink. Shame he can't drink though. There was a funny story in Cancun where he came over to see Sophie. Yeah. Sorry, Joel, by the way, and he's he came out. He can never handle his drink, worse than me, and I was bad. And we were in the taxi, and he was on the floor in front of me and Sophie, and I think I was slapping him on the face, and Sophie's kicking him and slagging him off, you know, and taking the mick out of him.
Yeah.
And he gets out the taxi. And I'll forget it. I can't remember what was going on, and he was like, "I need a wee," and I was like, "Everyone, let him wee, let him wee," and he's trying to have a wee against this thorn bush.
Oh no!
Honestly, man,
I can only imagine how that went.
yeah. But funny, I can't remember if they showed it or not. But listen, the lad he deserves everything that he's know, he's getting.
Because I remember watching him on Geordie Shore, of course, and you could tell that the hunger was there.
Yeah,
and I imagine he's always had that hunger from a young age.
Great DJ as well, though. Like, honestly, he's a really good DJ. You know, and to see him, I mean, he's touring the world, man. He's signed at one of the biggest labels in the world. He's, you know, his music, I mean, I play my gigs all the time. But, you know, half my sets sometimes sound like a Joel Corey set. But no, he's a great producer and great DJ.
That line of work is tough, I imagine, you know, because to make it as a big DJ, like, you know, all the ones that are out there at the moment, it must be, you must put the pressure on yourself even more to stand out, you know, because there's so many that don't make it and there's only a rare few that do, you know. The
industry, which I've learned very, very quickly, is you think you're going to make it within 10 seconds and it takes a long while. Yeah. There's a track I did last year, I did a cover of Gotta Let You Go. And Robin Hart sung on it. Me and Josh produced it, and you know we had it was just we thought it was a perfect top 10 hit.
Yeah.
And you quickly find out whether you think you're right and you're not. You know, and I mean I had one of my tracks, Happy Place, played on Love Island 3 times last year.
Yeah.
You know, which I'm pretty sure is some sort of record.
Yeah.
I hear it in gyms all over the country where I'm getting videos.
That's good.
And it's cool.
That's good.
It's cool. Yeah. But I quickly found out with Gotta Let You Go, I thought, you know, even with the label manager, I was like, this is definitely it. This is definitely the one. And you quickly find out, you know, you quickly come back to earth and you're right, okay, you gotta keep working.
Yeah.
But, that's what I love about it though.
Yeah.
Do you know, in a weird, sick, twisted way, I love not the rejection side of it, but the hard working side of it.
Yeah.
Where it's not just easy, it doesn't come to you. You know, you see a lot of producers and DJs where it's took them years to get where they've got to, you know, and everyone's got their time, you know, you just got to keep grinding. Music's got to be relatable to you, you know. It's
got to come from inside.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle that suits you, you know, and it's you've got to have that passion, that drive to, you know, I love looking for snares or, you know, drum rolls or, you know, anything like that where you're painting your picture for what what you like
for the painting kind of thing, show off the artwork.
Basically, yeah.
No, it's good that you have the hunger for it though, and I can tell you're a bit of a perfectionist, definitely.
Yeah, massively. When
with anything you do, I can tell that.
So I remember one of the first tracks me and Josh did. A bit of a freak. I listened to the track over and over, and we had it on a SoundCloud. You put it on a SoundCloud leak, when you send it to labels to listen to and that kind of stuff. And he sent me over the first one we did. I can't remember which one it was. And I remember him phoning me up, and he was like, "Bro, you've listened to that track 62 times today."
62 times.
He was like,
just trying to get it perfect.
What's wrong with you? I was like, but I'm like, we need to change this or we need to change that. That doesn't sound right, or the levels don't. And he's just like, wow, but I'm meticulous.
Yeah,
I'm an.
Well, that's a very good example, like what you've just given.
Yeah. I just think I'm definitely not going to come into a world and get judged. People, a lot of my sets that I do now as well. It's funny because a lot of the DJs, I think in the past, a lot of people from the reality TV world have been known as 2-bit DJs, where they come in, they pretend to DJ, they put the headphones on,
like
or the press sync.
The press jump on that straight away, don't they? And it's always negative.
Yeah. Whereas, I want to walk into a club and be like, damn, he can DJ.
Yeah,
which I've had quite a lot. I'm like, and I take great pride in that. I've put a lot of work into it, a lot of, and it drives me, for people doubting us. It only drives me more. But
you feed off of that, and that 100%. Helps. If anything, helps.
A lot of the DJs like, you're actually a really good DJ. Like, yeah, no.
I've heard a few myself, and you are very good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You are, honestly, like never give up and never let any negative comments, because you come from that world of reality TV. You do social media, and that's kind of what I wanted to discuss with yourself as well. How have you dealt with that over the years? Not just recently, but over the years. Say again, sorry.
Negativity.
Yeah, I guess trolling.
Just being the public eye.
Yeah. All that.
Do you know what it is? So Geordie Shore, when I used to kick off all the time, I used to have to turn my Twitter off.
Yeah. Because Twitter were big back then as well.
It was huge. And that was always me that would get absolutely slated.
Really? Out of everyone else?
Everyone. I would get absolutely griefed. And I remember phoning the producer up, and I shouldn't have done it. I apologise, Suzanne. And I was like, why have you edited to make it look like that? And she was like, don't ever ring me again. Delete my number. And I got the phone. I was like, why have I just rang the producer to kick it off?
An argument. Yeah.
But anyway, I was a young kid. But anyway, it's fun and games. That being said, in terms of, trolling and grief and stuff, I mean, I used to get absolutely battered.
Yeah.
That being said, it's made us thick-skinned.
Yeah.
And I can take anything now in terms of I can argue on a TV show and go to sleep on a night, no problem.
Yeah.
It's made us weird like
with a clear mind and ease.
And even I mean, I don't get any grief. Pretty much 99% of my tweets or inboxes or comments, they're all positive. Good. You can change public perception very quick. Yeah. And I mean, there's been a lot of the girls that have fallen out this series and the show, and with Marnie and Charlotte and, with Chloe and me and Abby had an argument about DJing.
I saw that, yeah.
So,
because I was going to ask, how are you with the girls? Are you...
I'm cool with them all.
Cool with them all, good.
Abby's doing one of my gigs for us in Bank Holiday down May in Scarborough. But I get on with everyone, absolutely everyone. If there's an argument, we have an argument, and it's
work it out.
Water for ducks back with me now.
Yeah.
Listen, we're filming one of the biggest TV shows in the world.
Yeah.
We're in a high pressure environment. It's like a pressure cooker. Yeah. We're not all going to get along at the same time, and
you're going to have your moments, and then you're going to kiss and make up, kind of thing.
You'd say that. The girls are still falling out though. Yeah. One question we get a lot is, I mean, is it real? Come on, man, you can't script Geordie Shore in terms of this now. Yeah. They've got to get conversations, so there'll be like, people will have to sit with certain people to have conversations the next day or, or a period of time. But what we do on that show, the fighting, the kicking off, or the arguments, you can't script that.
Organic and natural, yeah.
And this is what I would say, I'd say people enjoy it while we're here, whether it's 5 years or 10 years or hopefully 15 years.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
enjoy Geordie Shore while it's here.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the most.
Because
It's
it won't
the
be
realest
around
TV
forever.
show
Yeah.
that you're going to get. And
Yeah.
I think people saw that when we first started. It's relatable, you know, whether people have been in relationships like me and Vicky, God help you all, and or Gaz and Charlotte, you know, or James and Holly. You know, it's relatable. You know, someone could always relate to someone.
Yeah. And I think that's the good thing, because I felt like that way as well. So... yeah, we're on about, obviously, the girls with Geordie Shore. Still good with everyone. Good with the guys as well.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know, we when we came back for Portugal, it was the best film, the best series I've ever filmed.
Yeah.
Me and Jay had a hell of a lot of fun, and doing that, you know, with Jay. I was going to call him Jim. I call him Jim. It's James.
Yeah.
If all yous out there, they'd be like, Jim. You know, having the girls out there as well. I mean, obviously I was cracking on with Bethan. He was cracking on with Abi at the time. And I remember that night out, I remember James and Holly were like, what the hell is going on? It was just so fun to film. The crew were mint.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was just a great 5 days in Portugal.
Yeah.
I've never had so much fun filming.
And you're only young ones. Do as much of these sort of things as possible, you know. And that's kind of the thing I wanted to get at, is like, when we filmed, it was all natural, you know, nothing was false, nothing was, you know, there was no actors, it's not what people think, there's no scripts, there's none of that, you know, it's just all like the drama, you know, making connections, you know, like I had a little love interest myself, you know, if you want to call it that. So,
getting the gossip,
you know, so that'll be airing, you know, at some point this year.
She's like, yeah.
So, yeah.
I was, you know, dating someone on the show. He's quite big.
Yeah. But it were brilliant. Honestly, I can vouch, because I'm, you know, considered one of the older cast members, with me being 27, of course. And
you're considered one of the older ones?
Honestly. That's what they told me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you're young, though.
Yeah. See, it's a bit of a finicky thing, isn't it? Like,
I mean, I'm 37. I think that's why I still look at myself like 21-year-old.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
Like 27, that's young to do a TV show.
I think, if anything, if you're in your 20s, that is young.
Yeah, no, it is. Definitely.
Exactly, 100%.
Even 30s, that'll be, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Even 40s, because I'm nearly there.
Oh, you're still a young Ricky, don't worry.
I'm getting the collagen masks on, you know, I'm getting the retinol and stuff, you know, plastic surgery helps.
I do
plastic surgery definitely helps.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about that. How was that being for yourself? Just because I'm quite intrigued to know what you know, what made you do that. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
I've
got absolutely hammered this series because I was stacked. I was in one of those mind frames of going into filming, and the camera puts 10 pounds on you anyway.
Oh, it does.
But
yeah, it does.
I went in 94.5 kilogram, where now I've lost 8 kilogram, 9 kilogram.
Yeah.
So I've slimmed down definitely because I'm going to, you know, we've got
to
filming
make
and
sure that you.
Yeah, I'm on the J diet. He's cut me down. He's getting me lean and mean.
He's got you back.
Yeah, I'm going to go and look real sweet and tasty.
Yeah.
So, this series, everyone's like, Ricky, well, your face is so fat. I'm like, yeah, guys, I know. And this is what I mean about the trolling. I love it though. You know, I reply to them as well, a bit of banter. And they all reply. If you reply back to people, you know, have a bit of fun with it. Yeah. You know, they'll reply back with a bit of fun. Yeah. And I think people take it a little bit to heart too much. And just going back to what you're saying about the trolling and stuff, it's, you know, if you can kind of twist it and sort of banter back with people instead of taking everything to heart. And being aggressive back. Instead of being aggressive back. That's not the way. That's what stirs people up, really. You know, and people just want you to bite and they want a reaction. Yeah. But if you have a bit of fun with it, which I normally do, people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you replied, and all that kind of stuff. It's, well, you've got to be thick-skinned, and that's what I learned when I filmed as well. You've just got to be thick-skinned in this game, if you like, you know. I was making this all about her. I know. She's like, yeah, Ricky, stop talking about you. So, Abi, so how was filming? I know I'm doing that a bit too much now, aren't I? How did you film for? Look, she's getting the celeb life straight away. Oh God! Look at her. This is what's going to happen in a year's time. Oh God! it'll be me on the other side. You're like, yeah, now when I'm an MTV star, Ricky, do you want to come and interview me? By the way. Oh no, I'll definitely, you know, I'll keep you in mind. Yeah. I'd love to have you. Honestly, we'll swap seats next time. Yeah. Yeah, Ricky, enough talking about you now.
No.
I'm new in town.
Hey, you're the star, always.
Oh, I'm not for long.
But no, so tell us what influenced you to do that, because I can't imagine it was the trolling. Is it just something you wanted doing for yourself, you know?
What's that?
Plastic surgery? Or cosmetic surgery, what?
There was a reason that I got it.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not going to go into it. But I've had 3 nose jobs.
Yeah.
I've had my eyelids done. I've had my chin done. I've had copious amounts of Botox. And yeah, no fillers anymore. I did put fillers in my cheekbones. I'm trying to know.
Trying to stay away from that.
It does become addictive. And especially when you're getting a little bit older. I had my eyelids done because I remember speaking to Jay and I was like, I said, bro, my eyelids are literally shut. I look like Snoopy the dog. Where obviously the partying and late nights was catching up with us.
Yeah.
Blemopastry, I think it's called, some of your eyelids.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway, I had that done. Unbelievable. I did Soul Care Aesthetics in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Unbelievable surgeon. He did my chin as well. And yeah, I've obviously doctored a few times and had my nose done and made smaller. And we're filming the. We went down and watched the first episode. In London.
Yeah.
And we always do that. So we get together in a cinema and we kind of watch the first episode, which I hate doing. In case I'm causing any dramas.
I bet it can be awkward, yeah.
I prefer, if I'm causing dramas, I'm not there sweet. But I was in my seat, I'm like, oh, please, Ricky, I hope you haven't kicked off. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And you just like that in your chair.
Fortunately, they only showed a clip of me and Abi arguing.
Yeah. Which wasn't too bad, I feel.
Do you know it got watered down.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so I got that in 2 seconds. What was it talking about, though, there? What was it talking about? Nose job.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I've kind of made my nose smaller and smaller. And Marnie was like, Ricky, your nose looks so good. I'm like, yeah, cheers, Marnie. Coming in.
She is funny as Marnie, isn't she?
She is. Like, the way is Marnie. I know Marnie's took a lot of grief this series. Charlotte's took, a bit of grief. But, it comes to the territory. We're all, everyone's going to have the favourites. And
it comes with the job,
doesn't
does,
it?
Yeah.
Massively. And, I've spoken to them. And, we'll see what happens next series with them. Hopefully they all come back and they kiss and make up.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm very excited to see that, to be honest.
I am too.
Yeah, it'll be very good.
We should hear where we're going. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, so, yeah, moving on from that, I guess you've got the DJing at the moment. You're doing very well with that, as I've seen. You've got potentially Geordie Shore in the works. Have you got any kind of projects?
I know where we're going for Geordie next series, and I will tell the fans, be excited, because, it was hard filming with the kids. It really was. They tried it, and I'm glad they tried it.
Yeah.
But it's back to, getting down and dirty and,
back to the basics kind of thing.
Old school Geordie Shore style.
That's what we want.
Primed and ready. This is why I'm getting myself into full on shape to get the abs out, get the shades on, And what MTV have been clever about as well, and Lime, they've got rid of the house in Newcastle.
Oh, really?
They saw we had no energy. We didn't want to be there. It's cold, it's freezing. Being in Newcastle, we've done it 1 billion times.
Yeah.
Get us away once a year in the sun where it's hot, in a party place, and just let us get out.
That's the way to do it.
Let us go. Just let us go. And I promise you, I'll give you everything you want, and I'll entertain all the fans. But they've managed to get a lot of us OGs back. They've got Abi there, they've got Nathan, they've got Chloe. It's a really good balance now with newbies and oldies.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I can't wait to film next series. And where we're going next series, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be mega.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'm looking forward to it.
Sorry, I know you went thinking I was just going back to it, but in terms of the DJing, I'm touring all year doing Pop World TV again.
Yeah.
I had so much fun doing it all last year. All the episodes are edited. Yeah. And they'll be going out in the next month, which everyone can stop fucking harassing me on, because everyone's been inboxing me saying, when's the episode coming out? They're coming out real soon, and I can't wait for people to see them.
Yeah.
It's been one hell of a lot of fun. I'm so excited because, it's watching the episodes and seeing them. There's something going on in every venue. And I don't want to give too much away, but at each venue, there's something happens where it's kind of like, it's just, it goes tits up, or it's just a laugh, or, it's...
which is what you want.
Yeah, it's TV gold. It's TV gold. Honestly, it's great being a part of, and I'm thankful, that the bosses of Pop World really and Stonegate.
Amazing.
It's just a perfect fit for us.
Amazing. So have you got any other projects or work that you've got in the pipeline for this year?
Yeah, got a load of music coming out.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait for everyone to hear. I put, 5 songs up the other day on my Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and everyone seemed to be loving, I give a little teaser of each track, and everyone's saying, yeah, I like this one, yeah, I like that one, and which I like, give to the fans. It's they basically got us in the position of where we are, and I like for them to have a little first look, cheeky look at listen to the music. But in terms, it's good to get feedback as well, of what they all like. But yeah, there's stuff going on with Australia this year as well, which I can't say too much.
Yeah.
I'll be touring there as well later on in the year, but there's other things going on.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait for everyone to see.
Oh, I'm very excited, really excited to see that. So you've got your DJing in the work, you've got obviously Geordie Shore, going over to Australia again. Is there any other plans or exclusives you might be able to give us?
Can say plans?
Any little exclusives at all?
I'm single. Any girls want to date me?
Brilliant.
Might be a little bit of an exclusive. There might be quite a few people coming back next series for Geordie Shore.
Okay.
That you will like to see.
Oh.
And I can't say too much because I don't
you can't drop names. Can't drop names.
No, definitely not.
No.
But it's I think we're gonna have a big cast next series.
Oh, amazing.
Me and Jay have been doing TikTok lives, being like, "Who do you guys want? Who do you not want back?" And Jay's like, "Ricky, you're brutal." I'm like, "Nah, who do you not want back?" And I was like, "Put a cross next to the name." Yeah. You see all these names filtered through, and I'm like, "Yeah, man." But listen, we're having fun with it, man. It's just great to be filming Geordie Shore again. I'm loving life. Everything's going well. The music, filming Pop World, filming Geordie again, and yeah, just life's really good. And I appreciate having this down. It sounds like it's going really
well. No, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Ricky. Really appreciate it. You've been an amazing guest.
Next time I see you will be when you're an MTV star. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, it could go tits up like it did for me at the beginning.
Well, that's it. I might be painted the villain. You never know.
I'll be like shoulder feet of the crowd, but like, don't worry, it gets better for you.
Yeah,
the only way is up.
Exactly. That's what I'll have to tell myself.
Yeah.
But no, it's been an absolute pleasure, Ricky.
Thanks
Honestly,
again.
Pleasure. Thank you.
No problem.